Good day, viewers. It's another Wednesday again, right here on Eco TV. Of course, on your favorite platform, the Youth Spotlight. And as always, with your favorite host, Kadi Drame. And as I've been doing it, every week we profile one young Gambian youth that is as in his capacity or her capacity, making sure that national development is a growing thing. And of course, today we have a esteemed guest here, Mr. Bora Ceesay, who will be joining us today in this show to take us through his challenges, what he go through, what he does in order to make sure that national development is a growing thing. And for that, you have to follow us on our YouTube platforms, TikToks, to have programs like this right here. And numbers on the screen are to be contacted for sponsors in this program. As always, of course, with your favorite host, Kadi Drama. Mr. Bora, welcome to the Youth Spotlight.
Thank you, Kadi. And I must say hello to viewers and to say greetings to Eco TV from the top to every other staff. It's a pleasure to be here. Like Kadi said, in the next 45 minutes, I think I will be sharing my life journey and other interesting stuff and how I contribute to national development.
Thank you so very much. We are really honored to have you here. And as I said, every youth has a stake in national development. It just needs for you to take a step. And people like Mr. Ceesay are one of those youths that we could look up to. And as I will always tell you, this program is not about showing off, but it's about telling the younger ones or telling the people at our age that they could do better than us or they could do what we are doing. So Mr. Bora today will take us through. I won't tell you what Mr. Bora does, but I will allow Mr. Bora to tell you all, not all, but a bit of what he does. Because Mr. Bora, you cannot specifically tell what this guy does, because this guy is involving in a lot of things to make sure that, to prove that youths are doing well and to prove that youths can attain any type of success that they want if they put in determination. So, Mr. Bora, just for our viewers to know, for here at TV, I think we know a little bit of what you do, but then just for our viewers down there, tell them what you do, your profession, what you're doing right now, and how you go about it.
Yeah, thank you. First and foremost, I would like to start my background, where I was born, because that tells people who I am.
Yeah.
I am a native of Nyamina, Kudang, of course. And when we say Kudang in this country, I think we are known for culture, for knowledge. That's important. So I attended Kudang Primary. It's 91-97. Went to Kauru Upper Basic, 97-2000. Then I went to Armitage Senior Secondary, which used to be only for the sons of chiefs. But then it's also a boarding school.
Okay.
And at Armitage, just to tell you, I was involved in a lot of youth work, from Red Cross to Lend a Hand Society, okay? And that's also tell young people when I come there that you need to belong to clubs and associations. So that at a very young age, even from Kudang Primary, I was part of the Red Cross. So at that young age, that's where I began to develop public speaking and volunteerism. Then I first started working for Gamtel at the training school. So I always have passion for young people. All along I was training some young people in information technology, also teaching people in management. But of course, I set up the first student union at GTMI.
Okay, that's interesting.
Where I guided and I molded. I was helping students in career paths because that's important. So that's nationally important because most of the young people, fresh from high schools, they don't have that sense of guidance. Most times, they are influenced by what they call peer influence, because many of them will just go, I'm going for IT, or I'm going for nursing, because probably your friend is all going in for it. But at that time, that's where I begin to talk to young people. I saw them various career paths and what skills and knowledge. So at GTMI, that's where I built my ITs. I was also working there, but also started doing IT from level 2005. Okay. Level 1, foundation, certificate, up to diploma. Then the external exams, we will do it in Carnifing GTMI, but our papers will be marked at UK with one of US or international examining body called City and Guilds of London. I thank God that I got some very good papers. In fact, then I was in the admin, but the management then decided, look, because we were relying on many part-timers from other Gamtel department, we have someone who is that good. He's got some very good papers in the City and Guilds London IT exams. So that's how I had a departmental movement transfer. So I started becoming an academician, a trainer, an instructor. Then 2012, 2016, I enrolled In fact, even before that, I also did some courses at GTMI. They had a partnership with Cambridge International Exams in UK. It's a body of Cambridge University, where students from around the world can sit to professional courses in management. So I did standard diploma, human resources, marketing, business organization, and then I also did the advanced, again with some very good, impressive results. Always have, because for young people must have an aim. You must, like some of you are all talented or other young people, you should never say it's enough, because education, especially at a time that we all live in, anybody who has the opportunity, don't just be okay with diploma or advanced or with a BSc. In fact, you can. So I have that ambition to have a degree. So 2012, I enrolled at University of the Gambia with a degree in management, human resources major, and major in management and a minor in HR. Of course, again with some honors and some others. But then 2022, I enrolled for my master's in business studies, and of course been exposed to some countries around Africa and others where we are again being trained in different areas of youth development. So that is where from Gamtal I now I'm working with NAWEC, the energy company. And so however, what I normally want to tell young people is my involvement at community level. Kudang, I think we were part of that's what they call Alkamba Association Gambia. There is Alkamba Association UK. There is Alkamba Association England. All these three institutions, I was a development chair then. Also, development chair, youth and sports. So that's why when you talk about, when you asked for my invitation to come here, I said I also have passion for youth work. And so probably I can allow you, if you
No, honestly, we will have a long way to go with this, because when you said Kudang is a land of knowledge, someone might be doubting before reaching here, but after telling us your background on education and how passionate you are about it, I'm sure everyone down there will agree with me that this guy down here is a true definition and a resemblance, and that will define Kudang as a knowledgeable place, a place that people gain knowledge. That is one thing people won't argue. Bora and the likes are people that will make you believe that, because it's not something that they just say. You see them strive for it, you see them work for it. From his story, you will get to learn that you started at a very young time, since from schools, joining extracurricular activities, joining clubs. To tell you for free, I'm also a Red Cross volunteer. I think that is why we tend to be in this youth thing. Exactly. And personally, I believe every youth, at what level you might be, just start at the grassroots. Starting at the community is what will get you to where you are, because you cannot just jump to be at the top. But from where you start, and one thing you made mention is that you are very focused, and I could attest to the fact that you are someone that is very concerned about Kudang. And that is why our focus will be on Kudang as it is, because history will remember what you did last week. And I'm sure every Gambian here will want to do what you do. And it will always be remembered that it is Kudang that started it. But Kudang na ya kumase, Kudang fanan jumala kita sababoti, wakete italeti. So, Mr. Bora, we have seen that you have launched a documentary that you have done for your village that talks about the history, the culture, and heritage of Kudang. So tell us, let's go through that. We have seen that it's a successful launching, but tell us, we know every success, there are challenges and all that. What brought about the journey of Alkamba and where we are today?
Thank you so much, Kadi. In fact, like you said, Kudang, I have passion for Kudang. And of course, let me also say that I am also passionate about Nyamina Dankunku before I talk back, because that's where my moms come from.
Okay.
So as I speak here, during the launch, you people were there.
Yeah.
So you see, not only Kudang, but my married Bantam people, my maternal people, I say kudos to them. Huh? Yeah. Uncle Jaliba Kuyate, he freely volunteered. I said that we are going to pay. For he said, no, my nephew, I will not charge you people a putut. So I appreciate the people of Nyamina, Dankunku, the entire Nyamina and country. And back to Kudang. The journey of Alkamba, I think for me, it started as a dream. Because when I was young, at a very young age, I used to be interested in stories. Then in our African societies, you will have our grandmas and others telling you stories. And within those times, they will also tell you about the village history. So I will hear if early founders, where people say the Sedi Kurangs, Kuramba Sedi Kurang.
Yeah,
You know, from research, we realized that the Sedi Kurangs were the first settlers in that place we call Kudang. Okay, then later they were joined by the Ceesays. That's where I come from, and Mr. Larry Ceesay, who is a frequent person here. Then you also have the Sabalis. You cannot forget them. So I'll tell you from research, three families, the Sedi Kurang or the Sedis, the Ceesays and the Sabalis, were one of the early settlers. Then at that young age, through those storytelling, I will hear names like Kuramba, Sunko the Ceesay. Then I will hear names like Honorable Srip Ceesay, my own uncle, same father with my dad, was Gambia's independence hero, was one of the delegation to Marlborough House, fought independence one time, just finance minister, ex-governor, central bank governor, the likes of Dr. Mohammed Lamin Kurang, ML of Fajara Clinics, the likes of Lamin John Sabah Marena, which many believes that he was one of either the first or second to have written a PhD, and that's also a testament to Kudang's intellectual prowess. And then and also stories of Dr. Sekou Sabally, who was at MRC, okay, Alhaji Musa Marena, who was probably the brain behind primary health education, primary health in this country. And of course, not only the male side, we have the females who have strong or powerful intellectuals, the likes of lawyer Awasisa Sabale, which is I think it's a popular name, not only in Gambia but Africa.
It's a household name.
It's a household name. He was one time justice minister. Her younger sister Ajifanta, some of them were awarded. Was one time social welfare director, executive director of Women's Bureau. Now also working as deputy permanent secretary, office of the president. We have the late Fatmata Marena. Some said she was Oxford University graduate. Even her younger sister, the Tidas, the Lisa Marenas, top class ladies, Narcissa Marena and Geneva. These people, not only were they intellectuals, but some of them have a big heart for community. So these and many others, former Ceesay, former AM, Alaji Mamadi Ceesay, my cousin, Lamin Saho, they work for so many NGOs. They work for government, they work with World Bank. Some of them become, intellectuals. Larry Ceesay was former head of the government, head of civil service. I think Secretary General and head of the civil service, and for many, many, many years, a top United Nations official within African order. So their stories was really inspired me. I said, well, what can I do for my community? I said, one day it is my dream to put these stories in a form of a book, so that our generation or those that will come after us, our nation, universities, academics, researchers will get to, within a click of the mouse, will get to learn and know about Kudang's history, from its founders to its agricultural potential to its economic opportunities. Because if you look at Kudang's location alone, it's very strategic. Most of the other environs or surrounding villages will come to Kudang during our Lumo or market day, and most of the things, in fact, most other services, the health, forestry, and others, even GGC, most of those communities will come to Kudang. So Kudang's location is very strategic. So, so equally, we talk about the role of women, because you women or girls, your roles are also important. The book remembers and celebrates the role of women in not only Kudang, but let me by extension national development. Because at community level, you people have seen some of our traditional women last Friday. These women, they are the backbone of Kudang's agriculture, the backbone of our tradition and culture, but the backbone of that communal unity and understanding. So the book celebrates, and in fact, when we say intellectuals or scholars, the book started mentioning names like, because we will tell people Kudang being a Muslim community, most of it, if we have some Christians, we are living together in harmony, but the book also remembers and celebrates some of the Islamic scholars. In fact, that's where it started, like the late Afan Karim Marina, he was an imam, another imam, Jatafode Conte, Alhaj Imam, and for the Lamin Ceesay, for the Laris, for the, in a Mandinka context or term, means someone who is that Islamic scholar, someone who has basically completed the Quran then it's Fode is a title.
People that are called foodies are respected people in our community.
Exactly.
Honestly.
So say Amadou Sabali, he works for Africa Muslim Agency. So I said their stories at a young age needed to be put in a book so that we get to understand our history. Because it's often said, if you don't know where you're coming from, it's going to be difficult to know where you are headed. So, but so that wherever you are, in Gambia, you are lucky to travel abroad, you know, you can click through our YouTube. And of course, I and my team, we have set up a media outlet called Gam Glimpse, which is going to be an online one. We will talk to not only Kudang's history, that's just the beginning. It is my intention that I will talk to the people of Maribantang, and other great communities who are interested. Because we have that experience. We have our media team. Of course, we'll partner with others that we know have experience so that we can write other towns and villages, their histories. But not only them, individuals like, say, Hata Bojang. Gambians used to hear the name. Or when we say maybe Jasum Ture, and also others. So I believe by writing down these stories or the stories of great people, it will serve as a form of an inspiration. So that's where it all started for me. I say one day I want to realize the dream. And I thank God that some of you were there last Friday, just like you alluded. I thank God that many people from the feedback said this is a success. And we need their prayers because we have more projects in the pipeline to write about not just Kudang, like I said, other great communities and other great personalities. Even young people. We don't forget them. That's why you see there was an awards night on that day. The awards night started, we celebrate or remember legends. However, there were awards. You can see Lisa Kurang, the young entrepreneur, a female like you, Kadi. I can see. Lisa's creation is now a household name in this country. So our organizing committee felt that by giving her an award, one is to motivate her to keep doing the good work, but others, you can inspire other people that this country, like you said, national development, you can start it from somewhere. Not everybody can just leave our country like that. Others, even starting small, with people's empowering, you can make it. And she's a bright example of one woman or other young people can do when they get the right support. Pa Mamadou Esfati, unfortunately because of time, but I will say that he's also awarded. He's one of the youngest top intellectuals in Gambia. He's got masters and one of the best accounting professionals. In fact, a month ago, Pa Muhammad Esfati, another testament to Kudang's educational and professional excellence, was awarded, I think, as the best, I think, financial, whatever they call it, the best financial person in this country was given to Pa Muhammad Esfati. And today, as we speak, he's left the source of this country to, at least for a short period of time, to serve Gambia at that continental level, AU. So that alone is a motivation and is a good thing. It's a pride for not just Kudang, not just Gambia, but Africa, that you can have young people within 30 years that can get international exposure and their services needed to say, you know what, for a shorter period of time, we need your service. So the awards night recognizes both the legends and those are there probably after those who have gone in their 50s, but we don't forget the younger ones.
The younger ones too. That is very important, Mr. Kudang. As I said, I'm a youth advocate that is very focused on what youths do every day. So on that day, seeing youths being recognized for their efforts brought me a lot of joy. You will see that it is not about just giving them awards, it's about recognition. Recognizing them will also put another youth at the heart of wanting to achieve what he or she achieved or more than what that person achieved. And to every awardee down there, congratulations is something that you have achieved through hard works and dedication, not something that have been just merely given to you on a silver plate. And Bora, you have really done a great job on doing all of those things. But then, as someone that have been in classrooms teaching and grooming young people, what can you talk about the cultural shifts in the Gambia among youths? Do you think our cultures are seated, or are we shifting from cultures to modern lifestyles?
Wow, that's a very important question, Kadi. I think that's, for me, I would say that while many young people are beginning to be conscious and continue to identify with their culture, there is that shift, like we said. There is that shift towards adopting Western culture, Western ideologies, Western styles, you know. So I will just encourage every young Gambian that your identity is, your culture, that's your identity, that no matter where you are, while because it's a wall of diversity, where of course you can be a Gambian and celebrate another person's culture. You can put on their attires when they celebrate, but however, that will not make any young people to abandon your own. And that's, you are right. And even so others will call you, say, this will kind of, this documentary and book will kind of create that awareness among several young people who probably want to totally forget or adopt other Western cultures. Not only Western cultures, even other people's culture. That, while you can, it's a wall of interdependence, it's a wall of diversity, but then you should also embrace your history. You should embrace even the way we dress. That's why I received a call, Kadi, you'll be surprised. Somebody say, you on your event, what should be the dressings, the code of dressing? I said, well, while you all have a choice to dress, we will be happy, since it is about Kudang's culture, our history, we'll be happy that anybody coming, whether you are a Chinese, we want to see you in your Chinese traditional dress. And if you are a Fula, we want to see you in your Fula culture. If you are a Mandinka, and I can tell, at least, I can say majority of them were putting on African wears, and others even in their cultural attire. So that is the spirit, to say, yes, it's a wall of interdependence. It's a wall where when we each one celebrates embrace your own, is only going to tell people who you are, and then that's also going to ensure that we revive, so that our cultures will not die. So to every young people there who's been celebrating there, I want to say keep it up. And for those who thought that probably totally abandoning your own, I would say, please, it's time you with this I hope this inspires you to say, in fact, so I will tell people, even where you travel to abroad, you are in an aeroplane, like some of us do. If you put on your nice African wax dress, Kadi, that's when people sitting next to you will want to look at you. And for that, because the culture, the kind of dress, because if you put on cost all the time, the white people, they have enough of that, the cost and other sort of dressing, European wears. But then by putting on any little African jewelry or system, I can tell you, people might even want to know, hey, what is this? They will be interested looking at you and probably talking to you. So by adopting your culture, it can even open doors for you. Really, it can really open. Of recent, last to the Chinese embassy, US, Turkey, they are trying. Where when they have international cultural, they will take some Gambian. So that's the sort of the wall of interdependence, I say. But because they realize the Gambia is a nation of culture. So that's why now, when Chinese or Turkeys or US have certain cultural events, they will say, you know what, I think we want to invite Gambia to the Ministry of Arts and Culture. So I want to call the Ministry of Arts and Culture to look at Kudang as that cultural hub. Every year during our cultural event, they normally come. But now with this documentary, we want them to recognize and archive it, because we want the books also, when it's out, we will share it with universities, UTG, American University, every university or college, they will have easy access to Kudang's book, so that it can be used as a reference. So like you said, to every young person, I say, you know what, hold on to your culture, hold on to your tribe, to your culture, yes, and your identity. However, you can also embrace other people. But don't totally abandon your own.
That is very important. Exactly. And that is something that you have really put throughout here for young people to learn from. And I will tell you, with youths that are like, with the two sayings that our cultures are holding us back and we are losing our culture, and because we are losing our culture, that is why we are not getting the development that we want. I will tell you, Bora is standing at the verge of we are not getting where we need because we are losing our culture. So to every young person, or even older people, let's get back to our roots, know where we are from, know what we are. In as much as we are doing that, let's also include diversity, accept people and their culture. I think that is what is more important. But then, Mr. Bora, let's talk about, we have talked about the launching. It's a success. Everyone is talking about it. But we know hosting such a massive, successful event does not just come like that. And we will want you to just take us through. As anyone that will look up to you today, moment they left to learn from Bora. But then Bora should tell us at least So what were some of the few challenges that Bora put at a jam? Moment in Bita Marisalongo, I'm Sonia, the Wolum Bora, Pare, Nyeti Abdul Dunta, Molia Waleje. But behind those Nyeti Abdul and everything, tell us where there are some challenges or any difficulties that comes with getting information or putting these things into combining all these all the people, youths, and everyone to talk about culture and all that?
Yeah, I think that's a very important question to anyone. Like, I did this to inspire other people to begin writing. But like I say, first, remember that, like I say, behind every success stories, people don't see the challenges, the difficulties, the late night calls that I did with my team, the sacrifices. So number one challenge was finance. That is always finance, because when was starting this, there was, I can say, some of us started at $0. So we had to dip into our own pocket. We get support also from our family members who say, you know what, I think you need to give it. So initially, financial challenges were there, but I am happy that I have that connection. That's why the world said, your network today is your net worth. So thanks to people who are good family members, who are good video editors and friends who are not family, say, you know, Mr. Ceesay, you taught me IT, you gave me this. So if you have a project, and I know, you know, you are trying to do this, but at the moment, financially, that is, so we will be willing to do everything, help you do this launching until after everything. Just look at we are not even charging you. I think that really helps to ensure that this thing. Otherwise, if I want to gather the necessary finances for it, and those people want to charge me, it's going to be difficult. So first challenge, Kadi, is finance. 2, team, because sometimes even in every team, you have a team of 5, you realize that each one has a role. Sometimes along the way, you realize that other people might be probably not playing the roles as they, so that might bring a lot of delay. So that's why this is a 5-year project. It was our intention that it will have come out in a space of 6 months or 1 year, but along the way we have human resources capacity where, you know, you needed to keep reminding other people, help me out, help. So if you want to do this kind of thing, you needed that dedicated team. So at the end of the day, having that dedicated and committed team is another challenge. Challenge number 3, like I said, organizing the event itself. Especially for us, the greatest challenge, we are not just doing the documentary. That is done now, alhamdulillah. The book, we would have loved it to be a double launching, both the documentary and the book. But like you said, why? Because we know that with the book, especially writing a community history, you needed to do extensive research. We have spoken to all the clan heads and people that we feel has vast knowledge of Kudang's history. But you don't just stop there. The next challenge is you needed to identify, because I say Kudang is a community of intellectuals, those who are in the Gambia and diaspora. That comes stakeholder engagement. You know, so that's also some stakeholders. You will send your books to them in a soft copy form, but before they respond, because you have a timeline. So you needed that patience also, because others, they are busy. They will tell you, okay, I will have a look at it. You needed to make that follow up. So if you have somebody who doesn't have patience, your book or documentary will not come out. Yes, so that's why the book, that's the stage, the book itself, because I say it's a community thing. We have spoken to elders, but I think it would be a good idea to say it for peer review, what they call peer review. So that peer review itself, you needed to get, it's not anybody that you can talk to. There are some people, yes, they did Western education, but they were far older than some of us. And some of the events that are in the book, some of them had witnessed that. So it will also be a good idea, both in the Gambia, to talk to them. So, but like I said, response time. You know, in operations management, that is what we call response time. Time is of the essence. So Kadi would have a target of, say, I want my book out next 6 months, 1 year. But not knowing that Kadi will want to talk to some editors or some community level peers. So some will reply on time and some will not. And all what you want to do is, at the end of the day, you want a book or a documentary which contents cannot be in doubt or cannot be questioned, because otherwise that will defeat the whole idea of people say, no, I meant for
then misinformation will be coming in.
So that's where the stage, the book will be. And then another challenge, book you needed to get an ISBN, international recognition, when it is ready. So we are trying to look at which one can, somebody is trying to refer me, link us to National Library of the Gambia, and also printing. Because when you want to do a book launch, you will need it to do some printing. So we are working with my team. We are trying to see where we can get some bits and pieces, where we can also reach out to sponsors, and to see partners, because that's also a major challenge. During the book launch, you want to have at least a reasonable number of print out that people may want to buy, or you can give out to schools. So to bring that one, there is financial constraint. If it is a documentary, you have your team members. Some might be committed, some might not be. So that's another challenge. And then if it is a community history, you needed to be careful. You needed to do enough stakeholder consultation so that the content in the book will be accepted. And when it comes out, people say, at least the book has done justice to the history and to every other chapter in this book.
We will say you have patience. I will commend you for it. And to anyone that will think that documentary or talking about history is easy, from Bora, it's not impossible, but it's not also easy.
Sure.
So you need to be ready if you want to do this. You need to be willing to give in time. That is what we have learned from what you have said. Financial constraint, I think, is one of our biggest challenge in this country. And I think all stakeholders need to be involved, and everyone should take a part in making sure that these projects are put out there. And then we support young people that are ready to sell our image and our culture and our heritage to the world out there. Because honestly, just media coverages are expensive. Talk less of going through, traveling from places, transportations and all that, interviewing people. It's hard, so it needs expenses. So you will say, but then we know you have gone through a lot. And to all the sponsors and to everyone that put in a hand to make sure it was a success, we say thank you for it. And Bugoni, come as he said, take it, the time that is taking is for the better, because we don't want it coming out that will spread misinformation, and that is something that we are running away from. Our histories need to be said in a very accurate way, so that anyone that comes, so Bora, we are really glad that you are taking your time with it and you are not rushing it, and we are not in a rush to see it. We are waiting on it. Just as the documentary was a success, I'm sure with the same energy, teamwork and support, the book launch also will be a success, and we're here to wait on that also. Thank you so very much. But Mr. Bora, just a quick one. With your, it's still okay. If you want to talk to the local people down there, come out from Yamendorong. Documentary because I think that is what is more important. Because Nasara Kramol no. But if it is documented, they will learn from it. And I think that has really played a role in it, because if you just focus on the privileged ones that have been to school and educated, then you will not have brought in the documentary. And I think the documentary is playing a very huge part. Puru babal nina milbes wokon fane fane ya jibe ya kontani fongol imamanyol la keku wala ni fongol be minke kan nafa nyimbanko nyinga. So Bora nyantari yar modoro ila experience with youth works and everything and culture and all that. And in Gambia here, if we talk about culture and heritage, the government already. So afamali committee amira dindingol and told dindingol them what is the our gap like? What is it that we should take from our culture? Because some will tell you there are some cultures that are very harmful. But what is that cultural knowledge or cultural discipline that you think every youth should keep with you and you should never lost it?
So English or Mandinka?
Give it to Mandinka. I didn't
okay. So Abaraka Kotake ning kadile bijambe Eco TV le ngeten tu ngejay bi wolle bismillah fo ninka wala kacha banko la kuoto kala moy dal ngebe tentule nun tubabu kanto kayitanda ko nyi juma tambilanu nga kudan na tari ko le safenu kake komin kadi ya fo nyamen buko fana mina kanne bar hani ata mel tubabu karanto bar hani mele tubab karang bi gambia fonnin kewol jamalu e ko pour kasi e fen karang o man sone e bul bak so man so bare be fonnin kewol ni dindin encourage la ka pour si karandiroke bar ko pour mo be si munafan kudan na tarikoto ka ni kudan na tariko safe asisate jamal fanal wakilindino yela tarikol safe bara sim wakilindino na kende jamal gambia ne ka funga kende jamal de soto kudan dam mate lonna jamal le bijan dino la karola tubabo la karola le loyalu jaralal media do kulalu mele katum banko mo kilim ka do kuno nyini be ko wato sita pour ngila tariko safe bare mba folale comme kadi ko di fimo so ngani men darate documentary wala fimoti sayal bajala ko ninna molu bifang ni ala sonta e bajala nagam glimsle al sitano Eco TV le fanan al sa beji beno hani kudanna tariko mem fota man ninka kanalto bari aka safe na do ko nga safe membe fo kam man ninka kanto e ka safe screen o bala tubabu kanto woto fo hani memma man nin ko moy fo fulolam jolalam english lam wala nanga okay comme kadi mem fa man sone ya anda mem fo na adolun kanam boyto kato nunto gambe jang si abena al adolum folo na ado ay kulwoy ay karandi kulwola kulwo nunto alfalu ni alfal be siring alfa fula saba ebe kulwola dinding hani mo ma eka nyalong eke karandi maniko kama eka dinding ka nyalong eka nyalong ni nunto fang ni musukundalom musol be dai muskunda kewol mukalla fika futaje ni aje futaje hani dinding ni eki so musol ni la area lam andun dine ol so kaje ko nanyin ada jamalu abeni dino e nyomoyle musol be fay ka fa muskunda ke kunda hani domoron telia andu kudanda matintel la so kono anin su jamalu nin kontongol sitatu mirango abele ka beng unity yalo fanan na alo ya maja kilimba ya kilina
be ka si miran kilin kay
kadi yemen fo bi jama on hani nucleus family wala family me ke wona la muso momo lafte la platin din tale te be fay bare mole nyim fo nyelonna akonye fay malon ko mole mel ka si nyoka miran kilin ka domoroke alka si nyoka nyame alka kacha alkemin alka domoroke akonye alla balfa nyoka no fanan kala fa wolenya ajibe drom sanji mo wanning fenko sanji tan saba nunto mo hanbi dulawal belam si sekunda drame kunda jar nunto alfal ye badi ya muta nyame ye nyokanu nyame ikabala fake ye ka nyosutra nyame bi wolbe talakan amol ba kata kan bari bi baje ko tala woto mo be sike nyawonya mbafule mo kanela ado fay wani tuba bolu ani dula ko be la adol bunyal e ka families je e ka tara nyokan e be bori nyokan e ka wadole ka finti e ka kole ka programol ke nyokan sa kontel mi alon ko na alfa folol ngol le tara jam domrol ye ke nyokan dinding le kulu ye nyalon e be muna fula alfa e ka itandi ko ila alfa ifa tero ifa fulango idoko abe nyanta bunyala wala respect o mum mo kafo kana fo kari ntani wala wuluta kari la mun tabarindem wala nimba maden mo kafo alfa to isi moje fa ita be 6 sekunda bay wo kamara kunda alfa ni fa yeki nyindo yeki be fa tatu la jelo we ba tatu je ye nyindo tak yena murna yena laban hani wo fa bafla hani atuje isi tara korda kono nunto italo na jumale jumaawo jumalum juma bati o jumalum juma fati because man lafi o fatam fansola difference andum bi jamano ti kamun mulka difference wol leke sa tawolto siyol la karolla na hani badin kilin ba kilin fa kilin ni nyindo ko do sodo nyi dol bi je nafikol woto na adol ni chosanu ay mune ay moya darale ay badi ya darale ay yurwa dara nunto te sitol leka ke gambia jang satewol be community si satew je nunto kadi ni mola momang comme bung soto yajo ka abulo ma ko ben sate mol be si finti sita ka bricol kosi waranto e poto fengol dara mo be dol be jiol nat la musolu ke wol bitay be mo moy menno ajibe ba bi solidarity ka nyoma koy ka je ko dino elfo ibadi o sinyo aliyelo nyoy nabe deto kono nabe kayro kono ka nyola kulliyo mute ka nyola sangal mute so ibadi lam ko ikol mengen wala dino fanawol akoy ibadi ngo nae kayro soto yelo afi nae kayro tano soto yelo afi woto an kabitron nyimbuko fanawol itandi kudanna badiya sanawiya o kuma ya tabak nunto molka munan ne ka sanawiya ke o nyil bebe na ado le kon na chosano joki relationship tubabol ko nsi darama kundan ko ni sisel nga nyobatan ntel ning sisol ni dabol fanal musana wal sisol ning wala nan ka kanna sirfo nak wa kamal wa mal anin na may muna wal munna molet wal kay muka fem fole rohi toure bijan nako anin bay kunda os so sanawiya kenolu wol be munna ado leti akatin nako nunto andun siol bele oson ba fole ko sererol de ba malmu ni tata mbojol da kunkol mbojol originally e bota salum le sererol lam kasinkol nun ton demalo mam kasing be kawru jino school ni nice mbama ko na bamboji nice serero jaka fo namol fele aka kontan hanata mu ka fono woto ton bi wala na gambe jang ibe menjela damman afo muman nin ko dammalati branto nim fulo mansi waranto o badi ya nunto alfal sita nyame sa tawol sita nyame ka kenele bula nyoy isi man nin ka sateje ye fulol bismillah je fo hani kuda o bijele na fulol bismillah sen ka fo angal futa andi wol yo ma nyo sabol melje fulol mu man nin kollete doñi mu fula ma nyolete ngonte tula ko ma yena nga badi ya choki na sinyo kendol chubalol melbe badal na kudang alfalu wolle keno dila je sita je bi alhamdulillah so wala nan ko to nin kube kering atita man nin ko la karol ental len ni wuluta ni nyille siten hebe bismillah o fanga di yata mole bi hani bi ben kol kan ko nyako al sanu lal yalla ko kal mammo kuman baron ko mole bo nan kudan bari mbading fulolu mbading chubalolu you know next time han surwal buying program okay next time nimbu launch bekala be dol fanal invite nan so woto ado nin chosanu gambia jama mafo ndefan ado nin chosanu me alonko abe mol kafiri yandi nan teda tije wotije komin kata dinkiral do ka kudol kije mel hani bari na kanna badi yalu na sanaw yalu kaje ko karite ba ma bota janale nindo ba ma bota janale ila wulula ila o baringul male tara sikiyan waranto nyomi o kamuneke wala mu ibati na iteme mbota nyamina iko e binki mala mu nyomi e mamale be jara o kati ne be hakul tulawol ko yarfan ni nyil be mulu andu gambia le bo nyama gambia ite moje la memba ding te nyomi waranta ta kiyang ata wokay gambia le bo nyama wana ni nga karandir la ngami madam zono jamme anyan yak principal centreses ngata yang ngata IT la ako dule nata botana ngami fo tuba kaka yal bon why do you people say assalamu alaikum to each other whether you are muslim akaka ko jang jamal ko le fonyoy whether mfo aka nim fulanjang aka Gambia is like Gambia banko is like almost modo anyon dolon islam bele den ko le fa ko kadi maje bibi ni re ko nyako nganna friendo la bota kudam fati kunda nyindo fana mbe kachala do ngaka kawle nyam so wolom dorong ni nganna ado ni chosanol muta mel yalon ko ala so kutije bidan kutije so woto be betala andu nunto alfal jannimbe jalayla ni ibulate la ku jamal noma e katalo yo ko wonin dinol lam woto na adol mel yalon ko jamal enen dinol mam fo nyoko nsi wol bambandi na badi yalu na mo yalu kairo nunto e kamul kairo nin tankum wala nyin sana nin fitino ka be kala futud lalto ni sana o mayna koy hey ite nyin dekala andu ite hanyila woto nyin ina mu koti drong wala nga kudanna buko safe buko nying sambi ube parela bare kaseto saim bi naltata Eco TV la YouTube dal baji bela gam glimpse ba kala je kudan kolom bang Gambia no melte Gambia no dunia dawoda inshallah be sajibe ye tubabu moy bang because ka fo tubabu ko ya safi ye man ninka kan moy bang ye jola moy bang ye mo be sajibe no wala ko mote
bora ko mata baake kom nga fa nyamen don tay mo bina banna bari ngalon baden lo mer lalu bebe karana ko nyin non ko ma fa nyamen don albeta al yajibe ka to mon ak ila ciosano wala la identity ni il ko ta do ladu ye sone ye bodu lalom so be nga mo me ko la ko dandam man non this is Gambia's history because Kudang Gambia la kono no his adol ni ciosano mo fente mi yalon ko molla adol muluntan du tara ko de adol min tara jeni tara la aske bo are kinon tara hani be fata so tar laji mba su ten la ko nyimu nyina te bari ba tar la ko ask abebe ke kan na famin na badi ya kan kanyo susun badi ya kan abeka ke de sem den so be nga bore nga ko nyi jibe saje be se karangala bugo nyenga singa batuna afindi fana mo be yela time ta to read and understand your culture and know where you are from ngamiro ko mata ba so janim be close don priba close la ni minna nga ke jang adol di mo din na every youth and with all the his experience that you have for you to live anything that you have to tell youths that will encourage or make any youth that is sitting back not to relent and put in efforts to make sure that national development is a growing thing.
So my final message to every young Gambian, the youth especially, there is a saying that says start with what you have until you get what you want. So that's my message. You can go to school in the Gambia, do a skill. Some people can follow that academic route, university, but not everybody can go there. But then there are a lot of training institutions, okay? In this country, the GTTI, Nawek Training Institute, GTMIs, Gambia College, or now you have a lot of skill centers where people go there, learn salon things and catering, events planning. So I said, that's my message to every young. Don't wait. Yes, everybody will want to go to America. No, who will not want to go there? Everyone want to go to Saudi. But then my message to them is, because most times other people, friends who tie Gambela karang, but what I tell young people, because I'm a professional career guidance and counselor, so what I tell young people, no, don't listen to those people, because Munebekela, any more in the Gambia, you'll be with somebody in the Gambia who is going to Gambia College. He's a teacher, he's struggling. He goes to places he has never been to. But along the line, the person will come to have a scholarship. So look at it. He sacrificed, now he might get a scholarship. He's gone, and he will leave you here. You will see someone who is going to GTTI or NAWEC Training Institute. He is a very good electrical person. He's doing electricity, or it's a technician, electrical technician. If today you hire that person to wire a room or a house, that person can get 50,000 project or 100,000. How much that guy with a skill can even pay the salary of somebody confined on the AC. So therefore, that's my message with young people. Dole PJ, they are into business. Today I can tell you, like Lisa Kurang is a better example. Lisa's creation. The last time she told me that, I don't want to say that, but now she's getting people who will have never seen her, but so from abroad, and say they will be helping her, supporting her. So let's be like the likes of Kadi, the young people, young journalists, they are all trying in media. They could have said, you know what, this country, no. You start blaming everybody. So let us begin to reduce that blame game. Start anywhere you are. It could be a skill, it could be academics, just keep pushing. In the words of Nelson Mandela, I say education is the key. And that part of that education, we don't forget TVET, technical and vocational skills. I am sure, or a business. If you start doing that, you can even register your business. The business that you register from your shop, for son, you have it. Through that, you can be exposed without anybody. So that's my final message. But then before Kadi, sorry, I would like to thank everyone, every Kudanka, every Damkunkunka, every Nyaminanga. But Gambians, on that day, every Gambian from Carton to Koina who supported us. I wish I had name, but Alan Tofo Mandia. But Smart Text Gambia is a construction company. We thank them for your sponsorship. I just went to there. I know they are. And we say, come, if you need sponsor. I also want to thank Combo Real Estate Company and every Kudanka in the Gambia and abroad. Everyone from Dankunku Maribanta, I'm always proud of them. Nyamina, the president of One Nyamina Association. I wish I had the time, but everyone who was present and others who were unavoidably absent, but they send in their big envelopes to support us. I say, may Allah bless you. And I want to remember and celebrate my team, my organizing committee. Salum Seydi Kurang, Mfansu Fati Chairman, Mansata Marena, Sirif Diba, Lami Yesa, Modibo, Ceesay, Almami Jane, Sirifo, Ibrahima. I wish I can name Muske Bambo, Musu, and Mari, all my team, organizing team. I want to say, may Allah bless you. They all stood for me selflessly, friends and families, loved one. When I started this whole thing, all the family members in Europe say, you know what, I know you don't, whatever you need, tell us, any logistic to ensure that. So, others on the day, you see, they were sending a huge amount of, I wish I can name them, but to say every Kudanka, every Dankunka, every friend who supported us, we say, may Allah reward you abundantly.
Thank you so very much. And as I will say, one thing stood out from what he said and to the message down there, I believe all youths down there should remember. I believe every youth down there should remember is that start with what you get, what you have, and then until you get what you want. So with that, I think that is something that every youth should remember and have at the back of your mind. Imanyan na sila kava ko foni nga nyin soto lembe nyin start la. Ya soto ni minna adatini wala dosi ni taranoji. So then just a last message. What do you have to say to Eco TV? Bari ko memuna mila multi, bari ma fanta mila multi. So sa Eco TV,
Eco TV muma family let. Na Gambian will be encouraged. Wolu ngole for bidale interview. Every Gambian memo follow. I will tell people this country, my media house, challenge kan. Media house yole yakarade. Kere fatu yole invite fine TV ja. Woto ni molu meli otanye. Alinke sako Eco TV. They are like family. Ita mumbarinding ave all for you. Bira konjang kadi fati. Yalong small Gambia. Kaya banta ni mumbarinding lte. Maimuna watara kudan woni rohi wol mu kudan cold. Sirifo be koma. Next time be lafilale ning kudan cold si som mungu tuwo. Ni si so be sonale ko do bond because media man easy. Bring kata live to more content. Woto kudan kolu albe pare lale na lafta Eco TV. Inila entire thing kolu ngaleji almost 10 of them. Yeah, yela office kana woto na lafta kuda mungu tuo ali yanko ko kora na lafta kuda bakal live ko nyafanal mampare woto kudan kolu alaji futa kamera nge tentu nge jay inim fatmata kamera afoyla kudan kole pare isaje nim mungu tuo bakala jari mi lafta sponsor yana National Arts Council for Arts and Council, UNESCO, let them recognize Kudang. Kudang is one of, like Kadi said, we don't want to promote ourselves. But when you talk of culture and tradition, Kudang is at the forefront, just like Janjambwe. So we call on governments or people abroad who believe in culture, that Kudang, we welcome you to partner with Kudang, because it's not to brag. But when you talk of knowledge, when you talk of tradition and culture, I think we are there. And Jaliba is part of Kudang and Dankungu. Dankungu also should be recognized. So Eco TV, itelmun na family let. Ibelom Kadi yolu Zainab yolu Fatima yolu. Ibe tofoja. Ibe Kodi. So they are my favorite. So Momo melmuke jibe sign, ali click, ali follow, ali subscribe, because media fanantitano and sponsor dealer, and inshallah I want to assure you and your team that anywhere I am I'll promote lale, I'll make sure that I'll support financially, because tonya kodo be kodo media titano kodo kom, so let's support them. You know, ila staff soul in all smiling and always willing extra time anytime you do go for it. So that's the message to Gambians about Eco TV International.
Baraka bage, Bora, I'm content bage. Time is on our side, and as always, until we come your way next week, inshallah, with another youth in this country that is doing extremely well to make sure that, as always, national development is a growing thing. Until then, it's a bye from me and my technical crew. Bye.